The enigma of the Anunnaki. What if the gods of ancient civilizations were not merely the figments of human imagination, but real beings of immense power? What if they weren't gods at all, but visitors from the stars, beings whose presence shaped the destiny of humanity in ways we are still struggling to comprehend? Welcome to Deep Diary, where we delve deep into the mysteries of the unknown, the forgotten, and the unexplained. Today we're exploring one of the most fascinating and controversial legends of all time, the story of the Anunnaki. The Anunnaki are more than just mythological figures. They are the centerpiece of an ancient narrative that has sparked debate among historians, archaeologists, and even conspiracy theorists for decades. These beings, whose name loosely translates to "those who came from the heavens," are said to have descended to Earth thousands of years ago. But why did they come here? What was their purpose? Their story comes to us from the Sumerians, one of the oldest known civilizations on Earth. These ancient people credited the Anunnaki not only with their very existence, but with the foundation of all human knowledge: agriculture, architecture, astronomy, and even writing. But here's the part that will send chills down your spine. According to some interpretations, the Anunnaki may not have been deities at all. Could they have been advanced extraterrestrial beings who visited Earth long before recorded history began? Could their so-called divine powers have been advanced technology that was simply beyond the comprehension of ancient humans? Today, we're going to take a closer look at the origins of the Anunnaki, what the ancient texts really say about them, and why their legend has endured for thousands of years. By the end of this video, you'll be left wondering, were the Anunnaki benevolent guides, ruthless rulers, or something even more mysterious? Hold on tight, because the deeper we dig into this story, the stranger and more unsettling it becomes. Who were the Anunnaki? The origins of the legend. To understand the Anunnaki, we must travel back in time, back to the ancient land of Mesopotamia, often called the cradle of civilization. This region, nestled between the Tigris and Euphrates rivers, gave birth to the Sumerians, an advanced culture that thrived over 6,000 years ago. The Sumerians were remarkable for many reasons. They developed one of the first written languages, known as cuneiform, and left behind a treasure trove of clay tablets inscribed with stories, records, and myths. It's in these ancient texts that the Anunnaki first appear. The word Anunnaki itself has deep significance. It is derived from the Sumerian words Anu, meaning heaven, and Ki, meaning earth. In their mythology, Anu was the chief deity, the god of the sky, and the Anunnaki were his offspring, powerful beings who acted as intermediaries between heaven and earth. But the Anunnaki were more than just messengers. They were described as creators and rulers, beings who shaped the course of human history. According to the Sumerian creation myth, the Anunnaki played a direct role in the creation of humanity. The story goes that they molded humans from clay, imbuing them with life to serve as their workers. This idea of humans being created to serve a higher power might sound familiar. It echoes stories from other ancient cultures, such as the biblical tale of Adam and Eve or the Egyptian creation myths. Could these stories have a common origin? Could they all be different interpretations of the same events? What's truly fascinating is how the Anunnaki were depicted in Sumerian art and literature. They were often shown as towering, majestic figures, wearing elaborate robes and horned crowns. symbols of divine authority. But some descriptions go even further, suggesting that these beings possessed abilities and knowledge far beyond what was possible for humans at the time. For example, the Anunnaki were said to have taught the Sumerians how to farm, build cities, and measure time. They introduced concepts like mathematics, astronomy, and even law, laying the foundation for human civilization as we know it. How did such advanced knowledge emerge so suddenly in human history? This is where modern theories come into play. Some researchers, particularly proponents of the ancient astronaut theory, argue that the Anunnaki were not gods at all, but extraterrestrials. According to this theory, these beings came to Earth from another planet, possibly Nibiru, a mysterious, hypothetical world that some believe exists in our solar system. The ancient astronaut theory also suggests that the Anunnaki used advanced technology to mine resources, particularly gold, which they needed for reasons that remain unclear. Could this explain why the Sumerians described them as heavenly beings with godlike powers? Were these powers simply the result of technology so advanced that it appeared magical to early humans? And then there's the most unsettling question of all. If the Anunnaki did come to Earth, what happened to them? Did they leave? Or are they still here, watching us, guiding us, perhaps even influencing the course of human history in ways we can't yet perceive? The legend of the Anunnaki is one of the most compelling mysteries of the ancient world. It challenges our understanding of history, mythology, and the very nature of humanity itself. But as we dig deeper into their story, we must ask ourselves, are we uncovering the truth, or are we simply creating new myths to explain the unknown? Let's keep exploring. The creation story, Anunnaki, and the birth of humanity. One of the most fascinating aspects of the Anunnaki legend lies in their alleged role as the creators of humanity. According to Sumerian mythology, the Anunnaki descended from the heavens not just to guide humanity, but to create it. The story begins with a problem. In the ancient texts, the Anunnaki are described as laboring to prepare the earth for their purposes. Some accounts suggest they were mining valuable resources, particularly gold. For years they toiled, but eventually they grew tired of the work. It's here that the texts take a remarkable turn, one that blurs the line between myth and science fiction. According to the Sumerian creation myth, the Anunnaki devised a solution. They decided to create a new species, one that could handle the burdens of physical labor on their behalf. To do this, they turned to the earth itself, shaping humans from clay and infusing them with life. But here's where it gets even stranger. Some interpretations of these ancient stories suggest that the Anunnaki didn't just create humans out of nothing. They used their own essence, their own genetic material, to engineer humanity. In other words, humanity was born as a hybrid species, part Earth, part Anunnaki. This idea that the Anunnaki genetically engineered humans has led to wild speculation among some researchers and theorists. They argue that this myth might hold a kernel of truth, hinting at a time in the distant past when advanced beings used their knowledge of biology and genetics to shape the course of evolution on Earth. Could the Anunnaki have been early scientists conducting experiments that would forever alter the fate of our planet? But what was their motive? Why would they go to such lengths to create humanity? The texts suggest that the Anunnaki viewed humans primarily as workers, designed to serve their needs. In one account, it is said that humans were tasked with maintaining the Anunnaki settlements, tending their crops, and mining resources like gold. This paints a picture of humanity
not as the pinnacle of creation, but as a subordinate species brought into existence to fulfill a very specific purpose. This idea has unsettling implications. If we were created by the Anunnaki, does that mean we were nothing more than tools in their grand design? And if that's the case, what does it say about the way we view ourselves as independent, self-determined beings? Interestingly, the Sumerian creation myth shares striking similarities with other ancient stories. For example, the biblical tale of Adam and Eve describes humans being formed from the dust of the earth and brought to life by a divine being. In the Egyptian myths, the god Khnum is said to have shaped humanity on a potter's wheel. And in many indigenous cultures, there are stories of powerful beings descending from the sky to give life to humanity. Could these parallels point to a shared origin, a common memory of an event that occurred long before the rise of recorded history? Or could it be that the story of the Anunnaki is simply one of many myths humans have used to explain their origins? There's another layer to this story that deepens the mystery. Some researchers argue that the Anunnaki's influence didn't end with the creation of humanity. They believe that the Anunnaki continued to guide and shape human civilization, teaching us the skills we needed to thrive. Agriculture, architecture, and astronomy all are said to have been gifts from the Anunnaki. But if this is true, why did the Anunnaki eventually disappear from history? Did they leave Earth, satisfied with the progress of their creation? Or is it possible that their influence never truly ended, that they've been watching us, shaping us from the shadows? As we dive deeper into the story of the Anunnaki, one question looms larger than all the others. If they truly were our creators, what was their ultimate goal? And more importantly, could their story hold clues to the destiny of humanity itself? Stay with me as we unravel this mystery further in the next chapter. Ancient astronaut theory. Were the Anunnaki extraterrestrials? Now let's take the story of the Anunnaki to a whole new level. A theory that connects the ancient past with the vastness of the cosmos. Were the Anunnaki gods, as the Sumerians believed, or could they have been something even more extraordinary? Extraterrestrial beings? The ancient astronaut theory suggests that the Anunnaki were not mythical deities, but advanced beings from another world, possibly from a distant planet within our solar system, or even beyond it. This theory hinges on one key idea: the incredible knowledge and technology attributed to the Anunnaki in the ancient Sumerian texts. Consider this. The Sumerians were among the first to map the stars, create accurate calendars, and develop complex mathematical systems. They even knew about celestial objects like Uranus and Neptune, which weren't officially discovered by modern science until much later. How could a civilization from over 6,000 years ago have gained such advanced knowledge? Proponents of the ancient astronaut theory argue that this knowledge didn't originate with the Sumerians themselves, but was passed down to them by the Anunnaki, beings who may have traveled to Earth from the stars. According to some interpretations, the Anunnaki's home planet was Nibiru, a mysterious world that supposedly orbits the Sun on an elongated 3,600-year path. Nibiru, often called Planet X, is a cornerstone of the ancient astronaut theory. Some researchers believe that the Anunnaki came to Earth in search of resources, specifically gold, which they needed to sustain their civilization. The gold, they theorize, was used to repair Nibiru's atmosphere or for advanced technological purposes. But here's where things get even more interesting. If the Anunnaki were extraterrestrial visitors, how did they travel to Earth? Ancient texts describe them descending from the heavens in celestial chariots. Could these chariots have been spacecraft, misunderstood by the Sumerians as divine vehicles? And if the Anunnaki were indeed aliens, what became of them? Did they leave Earth when their mission was complete? Or are they still out there, watching us from the shadows, waiting for the right moment to return? The ancient astronaut theory is as controversial as it is captivating, and it raises as many questions as it answers. Could the Anunnaki have been humanity's first contact with an advanced alien civilization? Or is this simply a modern reinterpretation of ancient myths? I'll be diving deeper into the ancient astronaut theory in a future video, where I'll explore the evidence, the controversies, and the lingering mysteries surrounding it. To watch that video, make sure to subscribe to Deep Diary and stay tuned for more. The Gold Theory. Why were they here? One of the most intriguing aspects of the Anunnaki legend is the question of why they came to Earth. According to ancient texts, the Anunnaki didn't descend from the heavens simply to guide humanity. They had a specific mission: mining gold. But why gold? Gold has always held a special place in human history. It's beautiful, rare, and practically indestructible. But for the Anunnaki, gold may have been far more than just a symbol of wealth or beauty. Some theorists suggest that the Anunnaki needed gold to sustain their advanced civilization. The idea comes primarily from interpretations of Sumerian texts that describe the Anunnaki mining operations. These texts mention great toil and extraction of the Earth's wealth. Some researchers believe that the Anunnaki's home planet, possibly Nibiru, was experiencing an environmental crisis. They speculate that the Anunnaki used gold particles to repair their planet's atmosphere, reflecting sunlight and stabilizing their environment. But the gold theory doesn't stop there. It's said that when the Anunnaki grew tired of the physical labor required for mining, they decided to create humanity to take over the work. This ties back to the creation story we explored earlier. Humans as a labor force engineered to extract gold for their divine overlords. What's fascinating is that traces of ancient gold mining have been discovered in regions like Africa, with some mines dating back tens of thousands of years. Could these ancient operations be evidence of the Anunnaki's presence on Earth? Or is it simply a coincidence, a natural part of human development? The gold theory adds a practical and almost scientific dimension to the Anunnaki legend. It reframes the story not as one of divine intervention, but as a tale of interstellar resource acquisition. But it also raises unsettling questions. If the Anunnaki came here for gold, what else might they have taken? And if they return, will they come as allies or as conquerors? I'll also explore the gold theory in even greater detail in an upcoming video, where we'll look at the evidence, the science, and the possibility of ancient mining operations being linked to extraterrestrial activity. Be sure to subscribe to Deep Diary so you don't miss it.
The disappearance of the Anunnaki. Why did they leave? If the Anunnaki were as powerful and influential as the ancient texts suggest, one question looms large. Why did they leave? The Sumerians believed that the Anunnaki ruled Earth for thousands of years, shaping humanity and guiding civilization. But eventually, their presence faded from history. Did they abandon Earth? Or were they forced to leave? One theory suggests that the Anunnaki's mission was complete. If they came to Earth to mine gold or gather resources, perhaps they departed once their objectives were achieved. Another possibility is that they left Earth to avoid interference with humanity's growth, allowing us to develop independently. But what if the Anunnaki didn't leave voluntarily?
Some myths speak of great conflicts among the gods, wars that shook the heavens and the earth. Could internal struggles or external threats have driven them away? Others speculate that the Anunnaki never truly left at all. Instead, they might have gone into hiding, operating from the shadows, influencing humanity in ways we cannot perceive. From secret societies to modern technological advancements, some theorists believe traces of their influence are still evident today. But here's the most spine-chilling question of all. If the Anunnaki left, could they return? What would their return mean for humanity? Would they come as our creators or as our masters?
Evidence of the Anunnaki today. Signs of their legacy. If the Anunnaki were real, their legacy would likely still be visible today. So, what evidence exists to support their story? Let's examine the clues left behind. First, there's the undeniable sophistication of ancient Sumerian knowledge. Their advanced understanding of astronomy, mathematics, and agriculture seems far ahead of its time. How did this knowledge emerge so suddenly? Could the Anunnaki have been the source? Then there are the artifacts, statues, carvings, and cuneiform tablets that depict the Anunnaki as towering, godlike figures. Some of these images show them holding strange, mysterious objects. Could these objects represent advanced technology misunderstood by the Sumerians? Even more compelling are the megalithic structures scattered around the globe. From the pyramids of Egypt to the ziggurats of Mesopotamia, these monuments seem to defy the capabilities of ancient humans. Some theorists argue that the Anunnaki played a role in their construction, using their superior knowledge to help humans build these massive structures. Finally, we have modern science. Genetic studies have revealed anomalies in the human genome that some interpret as evidence of tampering. Could this be a remnant of the Anunnaki's alleged genetic engineering? But the evidence is far from conclusive, and skeptics argue that much of it is misinterpreted or exaggerated. Are we seeing proof of the Anunnaki's existence, or are we projecting modern ideas onto ancient myths? The Anunnaki's return. What if they come back? Now let's turn to a question that has haunted the minds of theorists and storytellers alike. What if the Anunnaki return? The possibility of their return has sparked both hope and fear. If the Anunnaki created humanity, their return could mean the reunion of creator and creation. They might share knowledge that could solve our greatest challenges: climate change, disease, even the mysteries of the universe. But there's also a darker possibility. If the Anunnaki once ruled over humanity, would their return mark the beginning of a new era of domination? Would they see us as equals, or as the servants they once created us to be? Some theorists point to modern UFO sightings and unexplained phenomena as signs that the Anunnaki, or beings like them, may already be preparing to make contact. Others suggest that their return could be tied to astronomical events, like the appearance of Nibiru or changes in Earth's magnetic field. One chilling question remains unanswered. If the Anunnaki do return, will humanity be ready to face them? This topic is too vast and too fascinating to cover in just one video, so I'll be exploring the Anunnaki's potential return in a dedicated episode. To join me on this journey, make sure you subscribe to Deep Diary and turn on notifications so you don't miss it. The Eternal Mystery. Fact, fiction, or something in between. The story of the Anunnaki is one of the most captivating mysteries in human history. It's a tale that spans the ancient past, the cosmos, and the very fabric of our existence. But as we've explored their myths and the theories surrounding them, one question remains.
What is the truth? Were the Anunnaki real beings who once walked the earth, shaping our civilizations and guiding humanity? Were they extraterrestrial visitors, leaving behind only faint traces of their advanced technology and knowledge? Or are they simply the product of ancient imaginations, myths created to explain the mysteries of the world? Perhaps the truth lies somewhere in between. The Sumerian texts, with their intricate descriptions of the Anunnaki, offer a window into the minds of one of humanity's first great civilizations. They speak of gods who descended from the heavens, who brought knowledge and prosperity, but also division and labor. Whether these texts are literal accounts or symbolic representations, they continue to inspire questions about humanity's origins and its place in the universe. What makes the Anunnaki so compelling is their ability to bridge the gap between science and myth, between faith and reason. Their story forces us to confront the unknown, to question what we think we know about history, and to consider the possibility that the universe is far more complex than we ever imagined. But perhaps the greatest mystery of all is how their story continues to evolve. From ancient texts to modern theories, the Anunnaki have taken on a life of their own, weaving themselves into the fabric of human curiosity. And as we uncover new discoveries and ask new questions, their legend will only grow stronger. As we conclude this exploration of the Anunnaki, I leave you with this thought. The answers may not lie in ancient texts or distant stars, but in our willingness to keep searching, questioning, and dreaming. And this is only the beginning. There are countless other mysteries tied to the Anunnaki. Unexplored connections, hidden truths, and mind-bending theories that I'll be diving into in future videos. From ancient technologies to the possible return of these enigmatic beings, there's so much more to uncover. If you're as fascinated by the Anunnaki as I am, subscribe to Deep Diary and join me on this journey into the unknown. Together, we'll continue to explore the secrets of the past, the mysteries of the cosmos, and the truth about our own origins. Thank you for watching, and remember, the search for answers never truly ends. Stay curious, and I'll see you in the next video.